AbuSulayman is concerned about the future and the future of the family. The nature of parenting is foremost in his concerns.
The way I analyze things, the way I can see in the Sharia, in the light of the new circumstances, time and space, and new challenges, the way to analyze, it has some value for the young people. Not only by telling them, but also by showing them in which way this has been achieved, and also this life experience, in which way handled the circumstances which many young people seems maybe not aware of or failing really to pass. I am being married now for almost 50 years. Now, to carry the marriage life in a good way for this long, I think our young people need this experience, because the rate of divorce, the problem of the young, because of they are really imitating foreign cultures which doesn't fit this kind of hope of solidarity and keeping the morals, one of the reasons. So to tell about this experience, it will be very useful, inshallah, because this issue, family and women, the morality of family, it was what carried the Muslim world through the hectic history. And if we lose this family morals and support, it will be disastrous. The family in the West has been disintegrated, and it's in great trouble, and it's a big mistake to try to imitate. At the same time, living the old and historical experience in this time and in this changing time and new circumstances, it will be a mistake. We have to fall back on the fundamentals, in the goals, and try to achieve it in the space-time of this time. That is how we have to approach our heritage, our religion, our morals. One thing also, our education, although it's good in one aspect, but it failed us in another aspect, which still we are failing our young people in that sense. We used to learn only words, to sit on a chair in front of the wall and to memorize and to repeat. No involvement in laboratories, in experiences, in building, in doing, in creating, innovating, nothing of that. So the world for us, it was only rhetorics and words, and it's still that way. And that is why we are failing really to have industrious young people, to really develop industries, to create and to be creative. Unless we change this pattern, life is not words and it's not rhetoric. It is action, it is experience. And here we have to study, understand the psychology of slave and how to re-educate parents, how to raise their children, how to create a free person, how to give the room to the child, so the child can think, can criticize, can be honest, can be creative, because if the environment around the child all authoritative and he has just to follow and to accept, he will never be able to be creative, to take initiative, and to be courageous. And if we looked at how the Prophet ﷺ dealt with children, we can learn a lot of ideas. For example, when he was talking to a child, that is Ibn Abbas, he emphasized two major points which we are losing in the way we raise our children. The first one, to bring love and mutual support between the child and God, not fear and unhappiness. The second is to teach the child courage, self-trust, and to express himself and his opinion and to stand for what he believes, regardless what others say. And what we told Ibn Abbas, oh boy, ya ghulam, remember God, God will remember you. Please him, he will please you. So do the right thing. When you are on ease, he will come to your rescue and help when you are in difficult times. So it is love and support, not fear. The second, don't worry. If the whole world want to do something for you, Allah would not allow, it won't happen. Don't think that they can give you something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not allow they can do this thing. He is not teaching the young boy, but he is giving him the self-trust and the courage. When he talked to an adult, he didn't talk to his heart, he talked to his reason. When he say make tawakkul, depend on God, so he said, do I leave my camel and depend on God? He said, no, tie the camel and depend on God after that. So that is the difference between addressing a child and addressing a young boy. Also, when a boy came to property and didn't know what to do with himself, he went to the Prophet ﷺ, told him, allow me to commit adultery. Now the Prophet ﷺ did not tell him, no, you go to hellfire, I'm going to punish you. No, he didn't threaten him. He gave him self-control, education, tarbiyah. What he told him, do you accept this to your mother? He said, no. To your sister? He said, no. To your auntie? He said, no. Then he told him, all women, either mother or sister or an auntie. That means if you do it, you are allowing it to happen to your family. And that was self-control. Now, when he was praying as an imam in the mosque, his nephew Hussein came to the mosque and went over his back when he was in sujood to play. He made the sujood long. After the prayer finished, the people behind asked him, why it was long? Was there a revelation or something? He said, no, my child rode on my back and I hated to haste him. Now what that means? People who don't understand child psychology would say he loves his child. Of course he loves his child, or children, especially if the child is the son of his daughter. He wasn't saying that, because that means taking my time to play with my child and allowing you are back, I don't care about you. No, he was not saying that. He was telling them, this child didn't understand prayer, don't understand sujood, don't understand being imam or leader of the prayer. He saw his grandfather down, he went over his back to play. If he immediately put him down, he will only feel rejected. But when allow him to play a little bit and then put him down, he was taking care of this child, how to deal with this child. Once he was giving a ceremony or a speech to his people, and the little girl, the daughter of his daughter, came to the mosque. And of course, she will see the people listening, quiet, and her grandfather standing and talking. Even adult will be taken by this kind of situation. He came down from the pulpit and took the child over his arm and continued his speech. When he used to walk, he was the prophet, he was the head of the state, and he was the commander of the armed forces, as they say these days. When he sees children, he makes salam to them. He talks to them, take his time with them. Now, that is how he was a father, and the grandfather never beat a child in his life. He doesn't know to do that. One of the problems, we are facing commonly, most of the people in the third world and many of our countries will lie easily. We see the politician lying to us. We don't care. We know that they are lying. We don't protest that. Now, would our religion allow us to make lies? Of course not. The Prophet ﷺ made it clear, a Muslim should not lie 3 times. Now, how this happened? Is it because we think that lying is right? No, we know it's wrong. We wish we don't make lies. But we don't study human nature. We don't understand how to deal with this. How we fall into such a problem. I show you how. Generally speaking, in the West, they don't like lying. What happened to Clinton? Because he lied, not on state business, but on personal matter, but they don't accept that from him. And now we see the trouble with the administration because again of lying. With Nixon before it, because he lied. Now, the question is how this happened. In the West, generally speaking, they read a lot about education. And when the child made a mistake, the father or the parents will discuss the matter with the child. The child understand where he made mistake. He will try to please his parents, of course, as a child. And if they have to punish him, they make it, not severe. The child can't take it. So he has the courage to tell the truth if he made a mistake. Now what we do, because of our ignorance and not taking care of educating parents how to deal with the child, to understand the psychology of the child. Now, when he make a mistake, usually we say we'll give him a beat so he will never repeat it again. Okay? The child don't understand. The child is angry, refusing. He will do it again, but he will lie about it as a mechanism to protect himself from this abuse. And with the repetition of this kind of behavior, we find the person develop this kind of mechanism. Whenever he is in trouble or whenever he is embarrassed, he will lie. And we know that, we accept it. So if we are to undo this kind of big mistake, we should know how to bring a child, how to take care of parenting